90-Day Fiancé, dream romance or a red flag regatta in Turkey? Hashtag 90-Day Fiancé. Kemal's mother greets Emily politely, but her eyes scan everything: the ripped jeans, the uncovered shoulders, the wine glass. In many Turkish households, family isn't just important, it's central. Decisions ripple outward. Marriage isn't just between two people, it's between two ecosystems. Emily, used to independence, feels the invisible pressure. Kemal, caught between love and loyalty, suddenly looks less like a romantic hero and more like a man navigating landmines. The first red flag isn't dramatic, it's subtle. Social media, the silent third partner. In 2026, number 90-Day storyline is complete without Instagram drama. Emily's followers adore Turkish bae. Kemal's friends whisper that American women are too free. Every post becomes commentary. Every comment becomes suspicion. One bikini photo in Antalya? 20 unread messages from female tourists on Kemal's page? Trust, already fragile, starts cracking. The Bosphorus suddenly looks less romantic and more like a moat. Is it really a red flag or just fear? Here's where the story gets complicated. What Western audiences sometimes label as controlling may also be cultural expectation. What Turkish families view as respect may feel like restriction. The tension isn't villainy, it's misalignment. Turkey isn't a monolith. It's layered, secular and devout, feminist and traditional, modern and ancestral. Emily and Kemal don't just represent two people, they represent narratives. If they communicate honestly, truly honestly, the relationship might mature beyond fantasy. But 90 days rarely allow for maturity, they allow for drama. And drama pays the bills. The breaking point, picture it, a rooftop argument overlooking the Bosphorus. Emily, I can't lose myself here. Kemal, I can't lose my family. The wind carries the call to prayer through the dusk. Neither is wrong, both are hurting. This is the emotional core of 90-Day Fiancé, not the shouting, not the memes, but the collision of identity. Sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes love requires reinvention. And sometimes the red flag regatta isn't about danger, it's about incompatibility. But what if it works? Let's flip the script. What if Emily learns Turkish? Kemal embraces partnership over control. They set boundaries with family. They design a bicultural wedding blending both traditions. What if the red flags weren't warnings, but invitations to grow? The beauty of Turkey is its balance. Bridges connect continents. Ferries cross waters daily. Coexistence isn't theoretical, it's lived. Maybe their relationship becomes its own Bosphorus bridge. Not east or west, but both. So, dream romance or red flag regatta? Turkey intensifies everything: the beauty, the passion, the expectations, the pressure. In the world of hashtag 90-Day Fiancé, that intensity can either forge something unbreakable or expose fractures that were always there. Is love stronger than culture? Is compromise strength or surrender? Is romance sustainable without realism? The answer depends on the couple. For Emily and Kemal, Turkey isn't the villain. It's the magnifier. And that's what makes it perfect television. Because when love sets sail in a place where continents collide, it either becomes legend or a spectacular, meme-worthy shipwreck. Either way, we'll be watching. It's when Kemal says, "Maybe don't mention you don't want children." Cue the ominous music. Cultural crossroads, love versus lifestyle. This is where the red flag regatta really picks up wind. On 90-Day Fiancé, conflict often hides beneath the surface of culture, but in Turkey, those differences can feel amplified. Emily values career ambition, financial independence, casual dress, social drinking. Kemal values family tradition, close-knit community, public modesty. Defined gender roles, at least, in practice. Neither is wrong, but neither is flexible. Turkey itself is beautifully complex, urban and liberal in some neighborhoods, deeply conservative in others. A woman walking alone at midnight in Kadıköy is normal. The same in a rural village? Less so. If Emily moves, does she adapt? If Kemal moves to America, does he feel uprooted? And who sacrifices more? The visa countdown, 90 days of pressure. The genius and cruelty of the 90-day format is urgency. Decide, commit, marry, or leave. In Turkey, wedding culture is its own spectacle: gold bracelets, hundreds of guests, drums, dancing, ritual traditions. Imagine this season's couple. Emily, 32, a free-spirited graphic designer from Seattle. Kemal, 35, a charismatic tour guide from Istanbul who quotes Rumi as easily as he negotiates carpet prices in the Grand Bazaar. They met, of course, on vacation, or Instagram, or during a moonlit Bosphorus cruise where the skyline shimmered like a promise. For Emily, Turkey felt cinematic, every alleyway hummed with romance, every glance from Kemal felt fated. For Kemal, Emily was bold, refreshingly direct, and intoxicatingly different. But vacation energy is not real life, and that's where the show thrives. The dream romance, why Turkey feels like fate. There's a reason Turkey makes the perfect backdrop for whirlwind love. Sunset dinners overlooking the Bosphorus. Rooftop tea houses glowing under lantern light. Ancient ruins whispering of empires and eternity. The dramatic swirl of a dervish, symbolic, spiritual, hypnotic. In the world of hashtag 90-day fiancé, the location almost becomes a character itself. Turkey amplifies emotion, it makes grand gestures feel natural. When Kemal says, "You are my destiny," against the golden skyline, it sounds believable. When he introduces Emily to his family over a lavish Sunday breakfast spread, it feels intimate and warm. At first. Because then the subtle questions begin. Will you convert? Will you move here permanently? Do you plan to dress like that after marriage? Suddenly the magic carpet hits turbulence on 90-day fiancé. Meeting the family is never just dinner, it's a diplomatic summit disguised as hospitality. When love boards a plane with a one-way ticket, romance becomes a gamble. Add a television crew, a ticking visa clock, and a sun-drenched destination where East meets West, and you have the irresistible chaos of 90-day fiancé. Now picture it unfolding in Turkey, where minarets pierce cotton candy sunsets, the call to prayer echoes over turquoise water, and love stories simmer like strong Turkish coffee. Is it destiny? Or is it a full-blown red flag regatta sailing straight into a cultural storm? Let's set the scene. There's no better metaphor for a 90-day relationship than Istanbul itself, suspended between Europe and Asia, tradition and modernity, devotion and desire. Imagine Emily overwhelmed by a 400-person guest list she's expected to greet individually. Imagine Kemal horrified at the idea of a courthouse ceremony in Nevada. Each compromise chips away at the fantasy. The red flags begin to multiply. He checks her phone just to be safe. She hides texts from male co-workers. He expects her to stop posting bikini photos. She mocks his religious routines. Love doesn't usually explode, it erodes.